Oh, that's just me on the thing. There we go.
Oof.
Now it's both of us. I had my full camera on there. Sometimes I have that one up to like test things and make sure it's looking good. I had that one up. It was all wrong. It's not just me. I'm joined by Melissa Wilkinson. Melissa, hi. How
Hello.
are you?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah? How's your week been? What's new in the world of Melissa?
I got a gel nail kit. Look at these.
There you
go.
go.
Light put these colors on my nails. A light did it. Well, I did it with my hands onto my other hand, and then I put them into a light box, like Paul Atreides in the pain box. But it just made my nails hard, not my soul.
When you said a light did it, the first thought that went through my head was, man, did Pixar fire their lamp? He had to go do something else. Yeah.
That was always its fallback plan. It's got a full beautician's license.
Indeed. What's up, everyone? My name is Kyle Springer. Hello, hi, welcome to the Captain's Log, episode 185. We are 15 away from 200. I'm getting more and more excited about that one, and I have no idea what to do yet for 200. I think we kind of was like, we should be thinking about it in the back of our minds. But no
now that we live
yet.
in the same time zone, one of us could go to the other person.
This
will be in the middle of summer. It's road trip season.
True.
This could be the first episode we record in person. And then we don't have to do anything else special. We don't have to have a theme. The theme is the two of us are in the same room.
Yep. Indeed. That would work. That seems possible. That's a good idea. Melissa, I feel like it's been a slow week. I feel like I kind of mentioned this last time that like things were just starting to slow down. Things have now officially slowed down. I feel like I'm finding a schedule and already ruining it and stuff like that. I am nocturnal. I swear to God. It's no matter what I do, no matter where I am, it's just like, let me be awake when everyone else is asleep. Let me just ignore every like social convention to do all of that. Let me just be awake at night and sleep all day.
Normally that's reserved for Batmen.
Yes, I'm not one of the Batmen. From what I understand, there is only one Batman, the Batman, now on HBO Max.
Right. Bruce Wayne and his cronies. And all of his different cohorts. Yeah. Alfred's awake at night. Alfred hasn't seen the sun in a long time. Right. You know, all those villains, Catwoman, awake at night. Penguin, awake at night, just like a real penguin.
He runs a nightclub.
Not a day club. He doesn't run a tea room.
He's not doing those gel manicure things. The lights already took his job.
Jim Gordon is the only person in Gotham City who sees daylight. He's the only one who's awake at 1 p.m.
Yeah. That's funny. Man, so I mean, I mentioned I say it's been a slow week. There also like hasn't been too much news. To me, there was like two things, debatably a third. But it like two main things. First and foremost, we finally got a teaser for Thor: Love and Thunder. I'm so excited for this movie. I still don't really know what to expect. Like I feel like the teaser that we got was like everything from the first like 20 minutes of the film. And we have yet to really see what this movie is actually about or what the conflict is.
But I feel like enough has been released about it. Like we know Gore the God Butcher is here. Enough information has been put out there that we can picture in our minds what the film would be. So the fact that they've still not literally shown us anything, that there's been like no set photos, that this trailer was very short and seemed to only contain like the first act of the movie, leads us to believe that what you thought was going to happen, it'll happen. And then we've got a whole sleeve of other surprises we can't show you yet. This is far more complicated than you think it's going to be.
I think so. Yeah. I don't know much. I don't know how much a role the Guardians will play in this, if they're, like I said, only there for like the first 20 minutes and then Thor goes about his merry way. How long Thor, Goddess of Thunder, will be in this. Who knows? I was wondering. I don't think so. I should also say that, Melissa, you and I did our reactions to the trailer. That's up on the React Core on our YouTube page and on our website. So if you guys want to see our initial reactions to that trailer, they are up there. One of the things I was thinking about was whether or not Thor will recognize Jane. Like, is this going to be like a running joke that like all of us, like, we know that it's Jane and everyone else knows that it's Jane except for Thor? Right?
Valkyrie's never even met Jane, but she still knows it's Jane somehow.
Right? Like, everyone can just see it's Jane, and he has enough of his like himbo energy to just be like, that's not Jane. Yeah. No, it's clearly not. Look at her arms, right?
Have you seen her do a single science thing? No, Jane could never leave science behind for that long.
Right, exactly. Like, I'm wondering if that is somehow gonna be a running joke in there or not, because I don't feel like this is going to be a mystery. Like, I don't feel like there will be a mystery like around like who is the new Thor. But I am wondering, will that be a joke? Is this really gonna focus more on Gore the God Butcher and Thor's relationship to his godliness, right?
Yeah.
Whether he thinks he is a worthy god or not. Who knows? Is Jane gonna be a variant? We don't know. I don't know.
There's so many possibilities. It's nice to be close to those possibilities.
Yeah, lots of possibilities indeed. Man, I just like I now like I want another trailer already. I'm like, show me more.
Yes. At least give us some good character posters or something.
They released 2, right? It was like the old school like 80s like rock posters, like those old like sci-fi Star Wars. But it was had that like hair metal like style on it, and it had Thor like on top of this mountain, and then it's the exact same poster but for Jane.
That's nice
on there too. So that was neat. But yeah, we still haven't got much. So I'm chomping at the bit. Chomping at the bit. I feel like
you're not a horse, so you don't need to know.
Horses don't care about Thor. I feel like we had like one of those Berenstain Mandela effect moments with chomping at the bit. I've always heard it chomping at the bit, and then I think I heard someone recently be like, no, it's actually champing at the bit.
Champing
at the bit. Because it's like a horse racing term.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what NPR says. Who do we trust more than NPR?
Spider-Man.
Okay. Webster's says that champ at the bit is to show impatience at restraint, be restless.
Right.
It comes from something said about horses when they bite their bits repeatedly and restlessly. They champ. The Associated Press says champ at the bit is the original and better form, and Webster's adds that chomp at the bit is a variation.
See, I guess I just don't like the word champing.
Yeah, you don't hear it in other contexts. Like, you don't get a cookie and you're like, oh man, I'm going to champ at this cookie. Nom, nom, nom.
I mean, you could. Should we start bringing the word champing back? What does Webster say about champing? What's the definition of champing?
Yeah, what else happens when you champ?
If they were to use champing in a sentence, do they automatically just go to like, man, that horse was champing at the bit?
Champ verb. Chomp, mash, or trample. To mash. If you're making guacamole, you've champed those avocados.
It was a graveyard ramp. He did the champ.
At the end of the song, they decide a winner of the song, and that is the true monster champ.
You are the true monster champ, yeah. God. But yes, I am super excited for Thor. I think it's going to be great. I cannot wait to see it. But of course, we got Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness happening next. That's the next big thing. Besides that, though, Moon Knight. We also did our reactions to the first 3 episodes of Moon Knight. Those are up as a podcast on the Reactor Core feed, as well as up on YouTube and our website. But yeah, episode 4 came out this week. Now, I don't want to go too into it because we will do our reactions for part 2. Man, this was a good episode. This was a really good one.
I'll say spoiler free, some of my favorite set design we've seen so far in any of these MCU projects. I found that with each of these TV shows, they have great sets. I'm happy that they have not skimped on that. They didn't throw Hawkeye and Kate in just any old apartment. No, somebody worked very hard on that set design.
Yeah. What was interesting to me is as I was talking to some of my friends in one of our Discord servers, it was interesting that on our reactions, one of the things that we had said is we were like, this is really good. Maybe not our favorite so far, but we felt like it's been consistent. Like it didn't start strong and then kind of fade away, or start slow and then kind of ramp up. It's been consistent. Whereas they all were all just like, this is just meh. And I was just like, huh, interesting. Like I guess I mean, I know people can like whatever they like, right? And have whatever reactions. It just felt weird to me that this is the one that they would have been like meh on.
I don't know. Maybe it's because it has
interesting.
It is interesting. Maybe people aren't taking to it because it's so disconnected from the rest of the MCU. So
yeah,
and it's so bold in its concept already. Like if you already knew the idea of Moon Knight, I guess the show is slower to give you bigger surprises beyond the initial concept of Moon Knight, and nothing has really impacted the rest of the MCU at large yet.
Yeah. And it's also a lesser known character. So I think people are having difficulty finding a connection to Steven or Mark or whoever. And I know a lot of people don't like the accent that Oscar Isaac does for Steven. Yeah. Like that's the one thing I see online of like, what is up with that accent? That's so weird.
I think it suits the character, and it is done consistently. You can question the choice, but you can't question his skill at executing his choice.
He's real shy. That one scene where he wakes up and like he's outside of that castle. He's just like, hey. I love that. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know. Just I've been surprised at some of the reactions, but I think if people stick with the show and they see what episode 4 does to the show, that's an interesting way to put things, but that's kind of what it is. It does something to the show. It's going to be a lot more interesting to a lot of people, I think. So we'll have to see. 2 more episodes left on that. I'm excited for that one too. Good one. Good one. Are you like watching any other shows just kind of on your own? Have you seen any other movies recently that you've dived into?
I've been watching Severance, but that just ended like 2 weeks ago. So now I hibernate until I have more Severance.
Right. You're just cowering in a corner. I need season 2. I need season 2.
Take me back to the hallways.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm starting to get that feeling of like, man, I need to get back to Doom Patrol. I need to go watch season 2 and start finishing that. Now that, like I mentioned, things have finally started to slow down. I've had some time to play some video games and stuff like that. So it's been good. It's been fun. So one more note about things slowing down. Because of all the craziness of me moving and starting full time at my job and all of that stuff, I haven't really had much time to focus on podcast stuff. And so our Patreon exclusive stuff did get all mixed up and messed up. And I thought I could do this one thing, and it didn't work. So now that I have some time, I'm going to be getting back into all of that and putting those up. Because what was supposed to come out last month, we watched the pilot for, now I'm blanking on the name of it. It's the one that you suggested, the ongoing show.
The End Game.
The End Game, yes. Network TV crime show, kind of almost Hannibal Lecter style character, but is this like very well put together woman who is just stunningly gorgeous,
Jewel
and is supposedly
tones.
Supposedly like this big criminal mastermind that is like in the first one she masterminds like 5 bank robberies at the same time while she is being held in interrogation. So some interesting stuff with that. And then the one after that was Doom Patrol, right? We did.
No, we did Doom Patrol, then we did the End Game, and next we watched this Lakeith Stanfield anime.
Right. Well, no, that's the one we're going to do.
Right. That's next. That's May. Surprise, everyone. That's May.
So what was April then? Because
the End Game. Doom Patrol was March.
Was it? I'm so confused now. I feel like maybe you're right. And it was Doom Patrol and the End Game were the ones that we did back to back. Because we recorded those pretty close together. And that was the
you wanted to bank
like,
April ahead of time.
Yeah.
Long ahead of time.
Man, things have been so hectic. I don't even know what's going on anymore.
That's okay.
Hey, support us on Patreon. We don't know what the hell we're doing.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hoping to get back to that. Because yes, there is, for this next month, we will be doing an anime for our Pilots Club for our Patreon exclusive podcast. So watching the first one of that to check it out. Starring Lakeith Stanfield. And I think the music and story was by Flying Lotus, which is interesting. So, cool. It's like Yasuke. I have it written down. I haven't.
You'll have
even
to remind me
yet.
next month. I don't store. I didn't store much information. I stored May Lakeith Stanfield anime, and then my brain stopped collecting information.
It's on Netflix. It's here in my notes. Let me just pull my notes out.
This is just talk for us, family. This isn't content for you. This is, we need to get our show notes together, and we're just also still recording an episode.
People like some of the behind the scenes looks and stuff of us figuring things out. Yasuke is the name of it. It's on Netflix. And then he's like some it's based on a historical figure, like a real life person, but it's, I think, a new story or like a fantastical story based on that. But he seems like a samurai slash ferryman. I think he was like, I don't know why I get this picture of him like as this like ferryman for the dead, like kind of like Chiron or however you say their name. Yeah, I don't know, but I'm excited to dive into that one and get back to our Patreon stuff. So
it's fun to record. I like that the Patreon is this free space where we can do whatever we want.
We really can. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Check out all of that stuff. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. I think the only other big thing was a delay. We got Spider-Man into the across the Spider-Verse. I was about to say, I can't even speak.
First you go into it and then you go across it.
Yep. Across the Spider-Verse, which was originally in like had the subtitle of Part 1. They've apparently dropped that. So it's now just Across the Spider. But
we're still to know that it is a Part 1 in our heads.
Yes and no. Like it sounds like the sequel that they're making to Across the Spider-Verse is now more of its own thing rather than part 2 of this thing.
Well,
if that makes sense.
We'll have a different subtitle. Okay.
Yeah.
Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse.
Over the Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he goes to space.
So the Across the Spider-Verse was delayed to June 2nd, 2023. And then that means they pushed the sequel to that back to March 29th, 2024.
Long.
So yeah, well, a little bit of a delay. Always kind of stinks. But I think they have earned this time to make the movie as great as they can. We know that they can do a fantastic job. But yeah, just putting in that extra love and care to make sure it
sounds good.
Does all of that. Man, they had that like teaser trailer to it a couple months ago. Man, now it stinks that it's now going to be even farther away. Just like, you can't tease me and then delay it. Don't do that. Oh well, but that's kind of the big news that I saw this week that I wanted to talk about on the show. But my next question is this, Melissa.
Yes.
Are you planning on going to see this new Nick Cage movie?
Oh.
I don't even remember the title. The Cost of Fame or whatever.
You could just call it the Nick Cage movie.
Right?
It is what it is. Nick Cage, the motion picture.
Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal movie.
Yes.
Because he's starring as himself in that, right? Like he's him. Like he is Nick Cage in that.
When does it come out? I've lost track of the calendar.
I think it's this weekend.
This weekend?
New Nick Cage movie 2022. What is this? The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. And yeah, it comes out. So we're recording this on a Thursday, so it comes out tonight. Like it's out.
What? He's happening right now. Who knows what Nick Cage is doing at this moment? Nick Cage is
happening right now.
He's always happening, man.
Nick is caging right now. He's champing.
Truly, if there's ever been a man to champ, it's him.
Nick Cage is champing. I've only seen one clip of this movie. I've scrolled past some trailers on Twitter. Never been interested enough to see the actual trailer. However, the clip that I saw absolutely sold me on this movie. though I was already kind of interested in this just because it's a weird Nick Cage movie where he plays himself and Pedro Pascal is this like weird obsessive fan being like, what's it like to be you, Nick Cage? But this clip is it's Nick Cage and Pedro's character. I'm assuming in Nick Cage's apartment. And
he has an apartment.
He asks, what was that thing that he lived at? Remember we talked
about a geodesic dome.
They're in the geodesic dome or whatever the fuck it is. And he's like, so what's your favorite movie? And then I don't remember what he says for 1 and 2, but he says his number 3 is Paddington 2. And Nick Cage is like, really? Paddington 2? And then Pedro gets like, no, Paddington 1 and 2 is amazing. And then it like smash cuts to them on the couch and Nick is in tears, just Paddington 2 is amazing. And he looks back, he's like, I told you. I was like, sold. Good. I want to see it just for that scene.
Wow.
That is the truth.
I'll have to get this into my schedule now. Heck, it might be a season at the movies because this weekend I'm finally going to go see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
The 2 weekends after that, Doctor Strange. Maybe I can put Nick Cage there in the middle, like the marmalade and a sandwich.
Nick Cage sandwich. Sounds delicious. Champing at the bit for one.
Champ at the sandwich.
We keep champing the same bit now.
Let's move on. Kyle.
Yes.
I went to a podcast show last night.
Ooh. Podcast show. Tell me about it.
I went to go see My Brother and Me for their 20 Rendezvous Fancy Takes Flight tour. St. Louis had the honor of being not only the first stop in their tour, but we got to be the 420 show.
Hey.
And I knew I couldn't miss that.
There you go. How was it? Tell me about this.
It was very fun. I hadn't been to see a live podcast show since... Well, I saw them do the Adventure Zone in November 2019. So I guess they were the last show I went to go see. But live podcast recordings are
kind of dragged your mom to, right?
No.
I
I had a friend volunteer. It was her idea. Tarina said, "Let's go," and I also went. The month before that, I went to Chicago also to see podcast The Ride. And my mom offered to drive there with me, but did not go to the show with me. She sat in the hotel room and read a book, I think.
All right. So you went to go see the 420 showing of My Brother and Me, right?
4:20 o'clock, yes.
Yeah. Did they actually start it at 4:20?
Oh, no, it started in the evening, deep into the evening.
Ah, okay.
You said the 420 showing like it was a movie.
All right. On that day, 420.
It was very fun. You get to dress up and go to this fancy theater. It was once called the Opera House. Now it's just called a theater because another company did change the licensing on it. And I'm upset we don't continue calling it the Peabody Opera House because what's a better name than that? Everyone's dressed up because fancy was their theme for the evening. This is their fancy tour. It was very cold and wet, so I wasn't able to get as fancy as I wanted to be. But some people there were so dapper, wearing like cocktail dresses and very nice suits and top hats and shiny shoes. Everyone was beautiful.
Man, busting out their top hats. Had to dust off that hat box out of the closet, right? We had this store back in Richmond, Virginia, called Bygones, and it was such a cool store. It was like this 1920s style store where you could get all these like vintage clothes and accessories and stuff like that. And they had different time periods, but I think they were like most known for their like 1920s style stuff.
It could reach all the way up to slap bracelet, but we mostly mean a little fascinator you stick on the side of your bobby curls.
It went up, I think, to like the 60s and like early 70s is like the most modern that it
when
there.
Bottoms were just starting to bell.
Right. That was like stuffed way in the back. It had its own section that was blocked off to like
in the bell bottom
the
shame corner.
Back there. You don't want to deal with the hippies. So that's cool. So what was the experience like? What was it like being in the crowd? Where were your seats? We
got very good seats. We were in like the 10th row, pretty center. I think twice when I've gone, because I've seen my brother and me twice. I've seen the Adventure Zone twice. Twice I've been up in a balcony, and twice I've had like weirdly good seats. Like the last time we went to see the Adventure Zone in Chicago, there were these two guys sitting in like 2 rows in front of me. And I looked at them and I thought, these guys look like podcasters. Not specifically, but generally, like they look like the platonic ideal of podcasters. They're guys with like beards and flannel shirts. And then I'm continuing to look at them and I like hear them talking to each other. And I'm like, wait a minute. These are literal podcasters. That's Al Rafai and Arnie Niekamp.
I have no idea who they are, but I laughed anyways.
Hello from the Magic Tavern, Kyle. Okay. It's a delight.
Familiar with that name, but I don't know.
Do you know these names I'm saying? Have you ever listened to My Brother and Me?
That one I also know the name of. That's the McElroys.
Yes.
How do you say
McElroys?
McElroys. Yeah. So I'm familiar, but no, I've never listened to it. Don't think I've listened to the Magic Tavern either. So. Oh well. Fake
once
podcast
again,
listener.
No, it always surprises me that for two people who have hosted podcasts together for 4 years, we listen to none of the same podcasts.
Yeah. Mine's mostly video game stuff because I try to keep up to date on the news and stuff. I guess our only similarity is like audio drama stuff.
That's it.
We kind of know some of that stuff. So
yeah, I mostly listen to improv nonsense and oddly structured comedy shows like My Brother and Me, an advice show for the modern era. And so it's all these local people writing in, asking questions for help, and they give them their silly but hopefully helpful advice. They do a Munch Squad, which is when they tell you about the best in chain restaurant advancements and read you a press release, an awkwardly worded press release. And then the opener was one of the McElroy brothers is a show with his wife called Wonderful, where they just talk about things that they enjoy. And she's from St. Louis, Rachel McElroy, a hometown girl. So they listed off things they love about St. Louis. And one of the things she brought was the Warenberg Theater's theme song, which I've told you about. Do you remember the Warenberg Theater's theme song?
You've meant I don't remember it, but yes, I remember you. I know the name. Like, yes, that is something we have talked about on our podcast.
I feel like this is one of the first things I had to tell you when we started doing this. I'm like, Kyle, there's an incredibly important piece of context for my life. It's the Warenberg Theater's theme song. And these guys have been married for like 15 years. And this is the first time she's ever made Griffin listen to the Warenberg Theater's theme song. So we get to hear him. Like they play it on the speakers in the theater. We just see him experience this live for the first time. It was incredible. Wow. It was a truly religious experience.
That's awesome. How big was the venue? Like, I mean, you said it was at like an actual theater. Yeah. Okay.
Big.
Gotcha. So would you describe it like bigger than a typical like movie theater or just about the same size?
No,
okay.
Big.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. Big. That's cool. That's fun.
We'd have to do a sliding scale of bigs. It's smaller than like the theater you see on TV during an award show.
Okay.
We need to find like theaters in movies that I can point to and say, okay, when I say the Fox Theater in my hometown, that's the size I'm looking at. Is this one theater we're going to find in a movie? Because I don't know how to describe a size to you. It's big, but it's not big.
It's only
like, I don't know how many seats it is. It's got a balcony, a large balcony. I don't know seat sizes in theaters. I don't know how to describe the size of a theater to you. For escalating the number of bigs, I say.
All right. So I've never been to any kind of like live show like that.
You ought to.
I take that back. When I was really young, I went to a live play version of Gullah Gullah Island.
In Wolf Trap, Virginia.
Yep, in Wolf Trap, Virginia, where Will Graham lived during Hannibal.
Him exactly and his 19 dogs.
Yeah. That is like the only like live show kind of like that I've seen. But Gullah Gullah Island wasn't a pod. So to be honest, that would make a great podcast. I think I would listen to it.
Wow.
That would be awesome.
It should be. Imagine that's how we reboot Gullah Gullah Island as an immersive audio experience.
So actually, now that you mention that, one of the podcasts that I listen to that's not a video game podcast is a comic book podcast. So not much different.
Yeah.
But there was this comic that like collectively they had all really, really enjoyed. And it was the Unbeatable Squirrel Girl from, I want to say like 2016, 2017. I don't remember exactly when. But eventually that book got canceled. But they all loved it. They thought it was hilarious. They found out that this week Marvel has been, I guess, I don't know how long it's been going on. Maybe they just started. I'm not sure. But they are basically making a radio drama that is a continuation of that story.
Ooh.
And it's styled like she's in college and has now gotten a job at her college radio station.
Oh,
and so
I
people
like that.
are like writing into her and she's answering things, but there's still all the same like familiar characters and stuff like that. I don't know those comics, so I don't know what happened or who all those characters are. And stuff like that, but they were excited to find out about that, and that reminds me of what we just mentioned, Gullah Gullah Island podcast. That'd be great. Seriously, that'd be awesome.
Imagine only hearing Benya Pollywog and not being able to see him.
I'm glad you remembered that name. I had no idea what his name was. God. Yeah,
somebody's to remember. Pass it on to the children or other 31-year-olds.
Right, yeah. I had this Nickelodeon like purple and orange baseball that the cast had signed. And
wow.
I eventually don't know what happened. I grew up and was like, I'm too cool for Gullah Gullah Island.
Threw it into a river.
Yeah.
Time for me to be a man.
There comes a time in every young boy's life when he has to throw away his Gullah Gullah Island baseball.
You truly should seek out live podcasts or live comedy of whatever kind. I'd say that all the podcasts I've gone to see are classified under comedy.
Yeah. Have I been to it? I've been to one live comedy show. And it was like a local, just improv thing, and that was fun. But it was just like a spur of the moment. We had all been drinking quite a bit, and we were just like, "It's just down the street, let's go." And so we did, and it was fun. That was it.
That's improv for you. You are improvising. You're part of the game.
I sure am. Sure am. Well, let's take a quick break for housekeeping. And when we come back, let's get to the freeze-dried section of the podcast, whatever that means.
Yes.
We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make. And yes, we make multiple different shows here at The Whatnots. And we'd love it if you check them all out. You can find out more information on our website at thewhatnots.com, as well as your favorite podcasting platform of choice. When you type in The Whatnots, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows. If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnots, patreon.com/thewhatnots is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and a thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/thewhatnots, and we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you'd like to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else, go to thewhatnots.com/store to pick up some merch today. And we are back. A big shout out to all of our Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for checking us out, for supporting us and believing in us. It means a lot. Cool things that we've been up to here at The Whatnots. Like I mentioned, we did our reactions to the new Thor Love and Thunder trailer. That's up on our YouTube and website, as well as our reactions to the first 3 of Moon Knight. You guys can go check all that stuff out. Crossplay has been up to some fun stuff. We also changed our recording time with that podcast. So we are now recording Crossplay every Tuesday. And that means it'll be out on Fridays.
You tell the folks about what happened on Crossplay this week, and I'm going to go get my treats out of the freezer.
Sure thing. So, yeah, we've been recording Crossplay stuff. We have finally got confirmation of PlayStation's new tiered subscription, PlayStation Plus mixed with PlayStation Now service, all kinds of things, but it's kind of in a slow moment for games. But we've been playing things like Elden Ring, we've been playing Tunic and Kirby, all sorts of good stuff like that. If you want a little bit more Thor content, however, on the review show, we recently covered Thor, Goddess of Thunder, Volumes 1 and 2. This is kind of like right in the middle of Jason Aaron's run on Thor. If you guys are excited for Thor, Love and Thunder, that movie is going to be pulling very heavily from Jason Aaron's run on that character, from the God Butcher arc through the Thor, Goddess of Thunder stuff. So yeah, we covered Thor, Goddess of Thunder volumes 1 and 2 over on the review show, and that was a lot of fun. It was good. So yeah, go check all that stuff out. We have some good stuff here on this show. So Melissa, you just went to go get your treats. We talked about this early on in the year. Didn't make it happen exactly when we wanted to, but we very quickly rectified that when last week on the show I was like, we never actually planned this fully or bought the things. So tonight, Melissa, do you want to introduce this segment here?
Last year around this time, we did the Kit Kat Snack Attack, where we ordered a 20-piece variety pack of Japanese Kit Kats to eat and describe here live on the podcast. It was a lot of fun, and we wanted to do it again. And the snack we picked this year is Astronaut Ice Cream.
Woo! Astronaut food. That's why I have my NASA hat on. I have my silver spacey jacket.
I'm here in the cosmos.
Yeah, Melissa has on this starred night sky looking shirt on. Pretty cool stuff. So for a kid that went to an elementary school named after Buzz Aldrin, I've never had any kind of astronaut Well, I guess that's debatable because the applesauce that I like to get is in those pouches. I call it my spaceman applesauce. That's what I imagine space food as. But besides that, I've never eaten any kind of like quote unquote space food, which I know is just like freeze dried stuff, which you can kind of get that. Like if you just get like the freeze dried fruit, like that's
like you can we have packages of that.
Yeah.
And I'm certain it's the same stuff you get at Target. I don't think it's special. It just comes in a package with an astronaut on the front.
Yeah. So
we ordered these, I believe they're Astronaut Brand. Like it says Astronaut on the top of the package. Like that's the brand name.
Reserved.
We got these packages that included these kits that have a Neapolitan ice cream sandwich and then separate bags of freeze-dried strawberries and bananas. You can create a whole like ice cream sundae moment for yourself.
Yeah.
You didn't have to freeze them, but I chose to freeze mine.
Yeah, I did not. So mine are just plain old room temperature. But yeah, this says fruit on a mission, made in the USA since 1974, whole strawberries. On the back, what's neat is they have fun facts about all of this stuff. And so the one on the back of the strawberries says, formed nearly 5 billion years ago, the Earth's moon is in synchronous rotation with the Earth, which means that the same side always faces our planet. A total of only 12 people have ever walked on the moon, all Americans. The first in 1969, nice. The last in 1972. And since 1972, only unmanned vehicles have visited.
Man.
That's the fun fact on the back of the strawberries one.
I want to say bananas does not include a fun fact, but I will read you the copy.
Okay.
Fruits go intergalactic. We take the fruits you know and love, and with the power of freeze drying, create a yummy snack. Frozen in time, yet not frozen in temperature. When you remove the water from fresh fruit, what do you have? A delicious, lightly crunchy sweet treat that melts in your mouth. Astronaut, strawberries, apples, bananas, peaches, grapes. Try them all. I would like to try a freeze-dried grape. I've never encountered that.
That is interesting. What if this is what happened to all the bananas? You know how they say like we don't have like what bananas should actually taste like is not the ones we have because we've like genetically manipulated them so much that like what if they all went to space?
Do you know the banana story?
Fruit went intergalactic, Melissa. They went to space. Right. They overpopulated
bananas died
the Earth.
On the way back to their home planet.
Yeah.
In like the 1930s, I think. The big banana. It was a banana type literally called Gros Michel or
You've heard of
Big
the big
Mike.
kahuna. Big Mike.
So at this time, everybody, Gros Michel, the Big
Gros
Mike
Michel.
banana.
What did he do that was so disgusting?
He's gross. He's large and he's a banana. And this was the banana across the world that people loved. And this is what food scientists derived banana flavoring from. And then there was some terrible virus that struck those banana plants because all bananas are like clones of other bananas.
Right.
So like if you get one, it can travel to everything because one banana isn't much different from another banana. So it almost completely wiped out that kind of banana. And then a different kind of banana had to step up and be the world's new banana, which is the one you and I eat today. I don't remember what it's called.
You're a man now. You're going to need to step up. Throw away that Gullah Gullah Island baseball. And
So this is why a banana flavoring doesn't taste like bananas, because it tastes like a banana that is almost extinct.
Yeah.
It tastes like your grandma's banana. It tastes like the banana that Steve Rogers would have eaten before he went into the ice. And then he came out of the ice and bananas are different.
It's like everything's all wrong. Bananas are wrong.
But there are still some Gros Michel. I have banana facts. I have to share them. There's still some Gros Michel bananas that grow in certain areas, like on smaller islands where this banana virus didn't get to them. So you can still get one of the original, like super flavorful, creamy Gros Michel bananas. They're just real pricey. And that's one of my bucket list goals in my life is I want to eat one of the Big Mikes.
Honestly, you should. You should just for your birthday or Christmas. You know what? I'm treating myself. I'm spending the money to get a original banana.
I should do it when I travel. Like if I go to Florida, which is closer to like the places where these bananas grow, like I'll get it there. I could probably buy one fresh if I was in Florida.
Interesting. Here's the fun fact on the back of the Neapolitan ice cream sandwich, one that we have here. It says, pictured on the front of this package is the United States Apollo 15 manned mission to the moon. It was our fourth to land on the moon with a greater focus on science than previous missions. The hell were they doing on the moon before science?
They were focused on sports.
Right?
We only sent football. Jocks to the moon.
What do you mean there's no basketball courts up here? With a greater focus on science than previous missions and the first deployment of the lunar roving vehicle, July 26th to August 7th, 1971.
Not long.
Yeah, and it has I don't know if you guys can really see that on my screen. I don't know. Yeah. Actually, let me see it here. Let me do the full screen. Bam. There's that. I don't know if you can see it.
Reflected in this astronaut's helmet.
Yeah.
And we can't see the astronaut on the inside. We don't know if this is a famous astronaut like Mae Jemison or if it's a new creation. This could be a wholly original character.
Anyways,
it's like Melissa, within the lore of Astronaut Brand ice cream. Maybe this is a specific astronaut. Let's start with the fruit and work our way up to the sandwich.
Okay.
I want to start with a strawberry because I know I've had a freeze-dried strawberry before.
Okay. Yeah, let's do strawberries. So these
Kyle,
are in these like nice
I didn't even tell you
packages. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. I ordered these from Amazon, the exact same order you did at the same time because we have to be synchronized.
Yep.
And I got an email from Amazon that said, we delivered your package. See, here's a photo of this package outside your doorstep. It was delivered at noon. And it's like 3:00 that I check this email and I go outside and I'm like, it's not there. And I check this photo. That is my doorstep. That is my mat with my little cardinal on it. I think somebody nabbed it. That's my only guess. Or, you know, the Amazon employee just like, they had an absolute loss of brain and they set the package down and took a photo and then picked up the package with them when they left. I don't know.
The fruit so I had to get Intergalactic. It left. It went back to space.
It ascended. It had to go home. But then they sent me a new package, and then they sent me another. So I got 2 sets of these space ice cream kits. So I've got plenty. I have plenty to eat, plenty to share.
Here we go. Here's one of the freeze-dried strawberries. Mine is room temperature.
One.
It feels
Mine's
light
slightly
and fluffy.
cold.
Weird.
That's
I
crunchy.
Say, yeah, it's crunchy. It's light for sure. Definitely has a like very rich strawberry flavor. Because
I'm gonna get mine wet.
What it is.
Wet.
Do they like inflate if they get wet?
I think they will rehydrate. I watched a video of astronauts eating and this is what they do. Like some of their food they eat dry, but some of it like you put a little hose into the container.
Oh.
Yeah.
Into the thing cuz I would think they would put like a little bit of water in their mouth and then put the like freeze dried strawberry in there. That
I
way.
think they may do that. Yeah, I think I saw them like they've got this little like press and seal container of food, and they hook a little hose up to it to get it wet, and then they sort of smush it around, and so it rehydrates. And then I think like they can eat it with a spoon really fast, or like suck it up like an applesauce pouch.
Yeah, interesting.
I think the food can be wet. They just don't make it wet at NASA. You got to do the wet yourself.
Okay. These almost like, I feel like these should be the marshmallows in Lucky Charms, right? Or like some kind of cereal. If they had like a coating on them to stay crunchy and not rehydrate somehow, like this is kind of what they're perfect for. On the downside, because they're so light, I feel like they taste kind of styrofoamy, if that makes sense.
Well, the flavor is there. This definitely tastes like strawberry, but there is a strange, there's a texture you have to adjust to. I'm going to make mine wet as an experiment, and I'm going to see if how hydrated they are.
Cool.
I also have a can of whipped cream.
Interesting.
My parents gave it to me because they wanted whipped cream, and they were at Sam's Club, and so the only option is to buy 3 cans of whipped cream in a package. And they're like, we'll share them with the children.
You guys have been good kids this year. Here's
some your whipped can cream. Of whipped cream.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Are we ready to move on to banana?
I am opening up my banana. These have a weird smell.
Ooh, I want to smell the banana.
It smells plasticky and powdery. Like it seems like the inside of the bag is almost coated in like a white-ish powder to keep them fresh or something.
I've had dried banana chips, but never freeze-dried banana chips.
Yeah,
this is an entirely new way to experience a fruit.
I've had like plantain, like salted plantain chips before, stuff like that.
That's good.
I feel like this one's dig that. I think chewy.
The banana really benefits from having like its flavor concentrated in the freeze drying process.
Interesting.
This does taste more saturated than a slice of fresh banana.
I have to admit, I don't like bananas in the first place. I'm fine with them, but it's not really something that I'm gonna eat if I have a choice, right? So these aren't my favorite because they seem a little more chewy because they're, you know, the consistency of a banana is that like mushier like style of things, right? So I feel like as your saliva gets these wet again, it almost goes back to that mushiness, and I'm not a big fan of that. Interesting.
I like them.
You know what would be interesting? You know those like wafer cracker, the like Quaker Oat, like wafer rice puff cracker things? It feels like this would be a good mix for those things, like a chocolate chip granola bar style thing, but put some like strawberries and bananas in that. That'd be good.
You can do a lot with freeze-dried fruit. You can pulverize it. You can turn it into a powder. And then I've mixed that into cookies. Like I've taken freeze-dried blueberries, powdered them, and made sugar cookies with them before. I've done it with raspberries. You do anything with it. You could have a pie crust. Any dough will accept a berry powder.
Interesting.
These packages don't reseal. So if you open them, you're in it for the long haul.
Yeah. Interesting.
Okay.
They do last quite a while, though. These bananas say best by the 28th of January, 2025.
Well, they got to last through a space trip.
I sure do. 90 calories in this package.
I'm opening my ice cream sandwich because I need to look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, it comes in a little paper sleeve.
It sure does.
Now, when we first ordered these, I don't know why I thought this was going to be more like Dippin' Dots, and this was going to come in a container with like a little packet of dry ice to keep it cold. It's not. This will probably be the exact same texture as the freeze-dried strawberries.
Yep. Just look. It just looks like a normal like ice cream sandwich. I'm opening it now. It even just looks like a normal ice cream sandwich here, but it's like mine's that room temperature. Yeah.
Mine's the ice slightly cream, cold. Like I had them in the freezer, but there's nothing to retain the chill in it. It is not soft. It is not permeable.
The ice cream part is also like room temperature. It's a little bit sticky because of the sweetness, but not by much.
Yeah.
It just
feels like you're touching a marshmallow, like a stale marshmallow.
It still feels, because it's light, it has that like styrofoamy thing. I don't know.
Wow, it is it's almost hollow. There's barely any weight.
All right, I am diving into the chocolate side first. Yeah, I'm not a fan of strawberry. Crunchy. You're making a face. I think this gets better the longer it's in your mouth.
Yeah.
That first initial bite, it's a weird initial flavor, but as the chocolate starts to mix in there, it's like, okay, yeah, this is chocolate. We put a lot of hard work into the shows that we make. And yes,
it tastes like Count Chocula or something. It's that standard like soft chocolate taste.
You can find out
texturally, it's just strange. It's hard. It feels weird biting into an ice cream sandwich that will shatter under your teeth.
Type in the Whatnots, all of our shows will pop up right there. Just don't forget to give us a nice rating and review if you like the shows.
Moving on to vanilla.
If you want to support what we do here at The Whatnots, patreon.com/The Whatnots is the best place to do that. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. You can get all kinds of exclusive content at the $3 tier. You can also get a shout out and a thank you on all of our shows at the $5 tier. You can support us on Twitch by subscribing to our channel at twitch.tv/The Whatnots. And we would love to have you all join us for our live streams and talk with us in the chat. And lastly, we have merch. If you'd like to grab yourself a shirt or a sweatshirt or a mug or something else,
it should be soft like a cereal marshmallow.
/store to pick up some merch today. Crumbly. Man, I am making a mess with this thing. Gonna have to like.
Strawberry's not super flavorful. It's not as strawberry as the strawberries are strawberry. I'm also gonna get this wet. Everything's gonna be wet. Just me and my wet bag of food. Glug, glug, glug. Water helps you grow. Drink up.
Mike secret stuff.
Please grow for me. Like Seymour singing the little Audrey too. Give you water. What do you want? Okay. Some of these berries are wet. I threw some banana chips in here too. I'm going to give the audience the wet experience.
You're eating it like cereal, but you're eating like cereal in a bag. Did you ever used to have like milk in a bag in elementary school back in the day?
For an individual portion size or for the entire school?
For an
No, I never had bag milk.
Individual school
my
size.
sandwich is like, hold on.
Was it falling apart there?
Yeah. I don't think the sandwich is designed to be wet like the fruit is.
I think I like the vanilla more than I like the chocolate. And this, the vanilla has a very good flavor that I like. But again, yeah, it still kind of seems like the marshmallows you find in Lucky Charms. Like that's almost the consistency, just not as sticky.
Yeah. All right, let's cream it up. It's cream time. I'm not doing any of this on purpose. These are just the words I have to use.
I know. It's still funny just to be like, all right, it's cream time now. Cream it up. How's the sundae?
It's good.
Yeah.
It's the authentic soda shop experience.
There you go. So I went to this dessert place here about a week ago now. No, yes, about a week ago, and I got a dulce de leche milkshake. This thing was like $15. It was super expensive, a little bit too expensive if you ask me. But man, they had the like most flavorless whipped cream I've ever had. Like it didn't taste like anything. It was just fluff. That was like the most disappointing thing about it. Besides that, the milkshake itself was incredible. It was awesome. And it had like bits of like chocolate covered waffle cone around the edge. It had like macaroons in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, one of those.
It was awesome. Yeah. Good food though.
This is, I don't think I'd order, so as a final review, I don't think I'd order this again. Unless I was having like an astronaut theme party or something, or if we were celebrating Moon Day. Which, as we agreed, is the first Monday in July following the anniversary of the moon landing. That's Moon Day. It's our holiday. You just do moon things.
Supposedly tomorrow is Earth Day.
Right. Oh, our own planet.
Yeah.
Gotta think about Earth.
Forgot about that one.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not big on the freeze-dried fruit. I like the strawberries better than I like the bananas. But I could definitely get down with some of those freeze-dried strawberries, especially if they were like I feel like I need to eat them with something else, if that makes sense. Whereas the ice cream sandwich does feel like something I would actually snack on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it shatters and is real brittle, which is a very messy experience. So maybe not the
I don't know how you could eat this in space.
Convenient. Right, yeah.
The fruits seem great for space, but that sandwich, I don't know how you could eat it. I don't know how it's supposed to be rehydrated because I tried to rehydrate it and it just like crumbled. Now I just got this wet bag and I don't know where to put it. Dude, I'm gonna empty this out in my sink. I'll be right back.
It just has space milk. Bag of cereal water, hot dog water in space. yeah, these were definitely an experience. I don't know how the astronauts would get around with a bunch of these like crumbs all over in space. I feel like that'd be a bad thing. But I definitely liked the ice cream sandwich the best. That one was my favorite.
Really?
For sure. Mm-hmm.
Sandwich was just texturally difficult for me. I dug those bananas. No, you're not a banana person, but they did well freeze dry. I'll have to like put them in overnight oats or do something with them.
Even make like
now I still have 3 more of these
pudding.
Sandwiches.
3 more.
What will I do with 3 more freeze dried sandwiches?
Save them for Halloween and give them out to some kids or some of your coworkers or stuff like that.
3 lucky children. I'm going to bring 3 astronaut ice cream sandwiches to work.
Just put it out on
just fight
on
over
Twitter.
them.
Hey, first come, first serve. Yeah,
free.
Mm-hmm.
Free.
Indeed. All right, get it, Melissa. Putting all the whipped cream in her mouth. Okay. So with
this
that,
was good, but I wish better for our friends up there in space. I hope that they have actually much closer to real ice cream. I couldn't be that far away from real ice cream for that long. Yeah.
What other foods to wrap things up for the night here?
Uh-huh.
What other food would you like to have freeze dried?
Oof.
Out in space. Like if you were out in space, what is like the meal you would like to have?
Oh, a full meal. Oh my gosh. I don't know if I want to see how they would freeze dry an entire Red Robin burger and fries.
I would like to see that. How do they do it?
I'd like to eat freeze dried like French toast or a pancake that kind of has some maple soaked in. If you get like a soggy pancake and then freeze dry that, I want to know what that like experience is.
How they make the like McGriddle bun thing that has the like syrup mixed in thing, right? Yeah. That could be interesting. Of course, I would be interested in pizza. Freeze dried pizza would be interesting. Let's see. What else would be good? Just for the hell of it, I would love to see some kind of like pasta, like just spaghetti, right? But I don't know. I feel like how would you do? What would freeze dried like General Tso's chicken look like and taste like?
And these are sauce foods.
And that's just not the like, but that's just not just like, here's a nugget of that chicken covered in that sauce, right? Or that's been marinated in that sauce, right? But like, I want the whole meal. Like, give me the rice in with that. Give me the like everything, right?
What's my fortune?
Noodles, all that stuff. Like, how do you do all of that mixed in one?
I hope that if you have a variety of astronauts going to space, that you are able to supply them with each of their regional pizzas.
Right. Yeah. Their favorite ones.
Which pizza is the easiest to freeze dry? Is it the St. Louis pizza? We got a real thin, crispy pizza.
I feel like thin would be the easiest just because of it is thinner. They could probably pack more of them in there.
Imagine if you took a slice of like deep dish Chicago and you squoze all the moisture out of it. It's just flat.
A freeze-dried lasagna is what we need. I feel like when you freeze dry it, well, I guess that's not the same as like vacuum sealing it, because these aren't vacuum sealed per se. So it wouldn't necessarily lose its size. It would just it would keep the same size, just be it might get a little bit smaller from the dehydration
I mean,
process.
Yeah, it would lose like 20% of its moisture, like 20% of its mass. I think that's what these fruits look like. It was a slightly smaller strawberry. It wasn't a teeny strawberry.
I feel like thin crust pizza would be more crispy, would be more brittle, more like the ice cream sandwich. Whereas if you have like a regular,
you don't eat a slice of pizza, you eat a shard of pizza.
Shard of pizza. Yeah, but then once you start to get to like the DiGiorno style where it is thicker, I feel like there might be less of that brittleness there. But I could be wrong. I'm just speculating here, but who knows? That's what I would want if I went to space. Pizza.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
I hope I get to eat wet food in space. I'd hate to get up there and it's only dry food.
I mean, they do like that. That's what those like packets that you can like suck the applesauce out of or the yogurt out of or what have you.
Just suck pizza out of this pouch.
God, I love sucking pizza.
This is what John Mellencamp foretold when he sang of sucking on a chili dog outside the Tasty Freeze. Sucking on a chili dog outside of Venus.
Indeed. And with that, we will wrap things up here on the Captain's Log. Melissa, where can the people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Wilkywit. That's WILKYWIT. And listen to my other podcast, Saturday Morning Obscurities, show where me and my brother Jams talk about weird old kid shows you feel like only you remember.
Good stuff. And you guys can find me at Yo Kyle Springer on Twitter. And if you want to stay up to date with everything that we do here at The Whatnots, we are at The Whatnots on Twitter. So please go like, share, and subscribe. That would help us out a ton. And we will see you all next week. Bye.
Bye.